What a nice time of the year. Okay, no more. That's it. Last one. Okay, last one. Yes, that's right. Hey, speaking of drinks.
This is my wheelhouse.
At the bar, your drink of choice.
Okay.
And our hot wings a must.
Okay, now here's the question.
I like how Luke just jumps right into this one.
Now here's the question. If we go into a legitimate place that serves excellent cocktails and high-end spirits.
The best of the best.
Then I would probably have some Yamazaki Japanese whiskey.
Wow.
But here's my normal go-to. My normal go-to is, remember Sean Shirk on that UFC like unfiltered program or whatever it's called? Yeah. You looked at his meatloaf he was eating, and it looked like, I mean, absolute basura garbage, okay? And they were like, how can you eat this? And he goes, I don't eat for taste, I eat for performance. That's how I drink alcohol. Okay. I don't drink alcohol typically for taste. I drink for an effect. My normal go-to is a double Jim Beam and diet. That's the way I do it.
But the creme de la creme is that...
I would have a Japanese whiskey. Actually, our cameraman over here is the one who recommended it to me, and he was completely correct.
Interesting.
Well, I think there's like a 10-step program for...
for quitters.
Well, if it's a high-end place, I'd go for some Pappy Van Winkle.
Pappy Van Winkle. What is that?
It's just a hard to get bourbon, but it's very good bourbon.
It is good
whiskey. It's a whiskey, and it's I'd probably get the 23-year-old because why not go top shelf?
Wow.
And I have actually,
and then
I have enjoyed a glass.
I'd get a craft IPA, something really good like that.
Get offset.
I have actually enjoyed a Pappy with Mr. Mendenhall.
Really?
Yeah.
And it was like drinking. Like I've drunk whiskey before in my life, and this was like drinking whiskey with all of that that pain that you experience in your throat just not happening. It was like as smooth as silk.
Ooh.
So I love that. But I'm not normally a drinker of whiskey or anything like that. I'm a beer drinker.
Jeff has other vices.
Yeah, I'm a beer drinker, and so I will go for a good microbrew, but not an IPA. I don't like IPAs.
Good,
I mean, it's nothing to do with I had nothing to do with Luke. I'm not trying to be like
I'm
Luke,
right about IPAs. I don't care what anybody else says.
I don't like it just doesn't work for me. But a nice lager is fine, or a stout or something like that. But it's a nicely locally brewed beer will be very happy.
The IPA arms race that took place in this country about 4 to 5 years ago, where they overhopped everything, ruined IPAs. There are some pale ales and some India pale ales that have since had more. They've reduced the overall hop count and made it a more balanced beer. But I stand by everything I say about IPAs. It's a trash beer. It's completely overrated. There are way better ones. If you're gonna drink a beer, hold on a second. If you're gonna drink a beer, drink local. I always drink local beers. And the last thing I want to say about this is just a shout out to my favorite rum. I also have one of those.
Okay.
Shocker. Have you ever drank?
It's been a while.
A long time, right?
It's been a couple of years.
I mean, it's been like 5 minutes, right?
Yeah.
Dictador. It's a
what?
Dictador, which means dictator in Spanish.
Oh, okay.
It's a Colombian rum, and you can only get it in New York City and L.A.
Wow.
And it is absolutely out of this world, tremendous.
It's amazing.
Yep.
I haven't seen
local New England IPAs. They're the best.
Yeah, and you know the other thing, you talked about
if you're out of battery acid.
You talked about you drink for the effect. I kind of drink to transport me to somewhere, and if I can't find a good local
me too,
brew,
buddy.
I'm gonna
projection to the floor. That's where I'm getting blind drunk in the corner.
If I can't find a good local beer that I love, I'm very happy if I can find a Red Stripe, because even though it's not the greatest beer in the world, it makes me think of being in Jamaica, which is one of the places in the world I love to be. So.
Who asked this question? What's the name of the gentleman?
Yeah, who was this? Can you put the graphic back up?
They're talking to, apparently.
Who's this, Mr. Martinez?
Mr. Martinez. Kudos to you, Mr. Martinez. I haven't seen this kind of passion on this.
Last thing.
Oh yeah, what about the hot wings?
Hot wings are a must, and if you eat ranch instead of blue cheese with your wings, there's a extreme probability that you have committed sex crimes in your life. I'm just saying that's probably true. I don't know that to be true. It's probably true.
I haven't had a drink in a while, but I will say, to bring this all the way back to MMA. I don't really enjoy drinking, but I remember having a Guinness in Dublin, and I remember saying to myself, as I'm tearing here, that is very smooth and tasty, and I enjoyed it immensely.
Do it different, right?
By the way the guy did it, which I'm no expert.
You have to get certified. You have to get certified to
do it. It was amazing to watch.
Anybody can teach anybody else, but if you go to the Guinness Brewery, you can get certified as an official Guinness pourer.
It was like a 3-step process. Like you wait and stuff.
Guinness store.
Although don't tell the Irish that Guinness is slightly overrated as a.
But have you had it in Ireland?
I have had it. Yes. Well, I've had Yes.
It's a pretty simple question.
Well, it's fresher. It's more local.
Yeah.
I've had a Guinness in a while. Last time I had a Guinness, my son who's now as tall as I am, was a little baby, and I was meeting my wife at a bar, and I had my son in my one hand, and I got a Guinness in the other hand, and just as she walked in the bar, he like reached over and stuck his hand in like up to his wrist and came out with all that Guinness like all over his hand, and like my wife was and he was
mortified.
I had Guinness in London and I had it in Ireland. When I had it in Ireland, I was hammered, and I don't really remember it, so it doesn't really count.
Who of us hasn't been in that situation before?
Right? I mean,
three of us.
He who was without sin cast the first stone.
All right. By the way.